the important thing about empathy is this desire and also the ability to walk in someone else's shoes, to see through someone else's eyes, which is so important because it means that we are then able to communicate better with the others, we're connected to others, and in these days, the times we're living in, that's even more important than ever. That's so important. So that for me is the crux of it. It's about connecting and communicating with other people, and that's what reading does for you. Well, I think the specific thing about reading which helps children with their empathy skills is that you can take it, if you're reading for pleasure and you're by yourself, you can take it at your own pace. You can, if you don't understand something, you can either look it up in a moment or you can look it up later. It's about what you take on board, how it relates to you. And that is so important because I think it's about having your own place and space to do that reading. And that works, but also sharing it with a parent or a sibling, or even if you're doing it, reading in a classroom setting and you're doing it with your friends or you're reading with a teacher, it's also important because it helps you to, again, as I said, to connect and share with other children and other people. And it also gives you an understanding of other people, and that's so important. Well, I think books like Cloudbusting could be used because then where you're studying the characters and you're talking about the behaviour of the characters, and so that you're not attaching any blame or shame to the people reading it, to the children reading it, but what they're doing is relating it back to perhaps their own behaviours, and then they can analyse it, but within the safety of talking about the characters within the book. So many fantastic books that promote empathy. Any book that makes you feel, any book where you are absolutely with the characters and they make you laugh or they make you cry, that is an empathy book. So asking me to pick a favourite is impossible. But I mean, there's things like Goodnight, Mr. Tom, for example, which I read and absolutely riveted and was kind of weeping at the end, and I just, you know, books like that just really touch me. I just think are so amazing. So I think any book that makes you feel for the characters and also and then help, and you just want to discuss it with someone, like Wonder, for example. I read Wonder and my daughter read it and we talked about it like half the day. We were talking about the story and the characters. So I can't recommend just one, but there are so many brilliant books out there. So, you know, go to your local library or your bookshop or whatever and enjoy. In these divided times, goodness me, EmpathyLab is needed more than ever, and I think the work they're doing is outstanding. The research shows that it has such a dramatic impact on children, their well-being, how they relate to others, and so we need their work more than ever, and it needs to be rolled out to as many schools as possible.